All right. Welcome on back to the ocean. This is Dear Chum, and of course we got Chum with us. So, going on in the world of Twitter, Megan from the movie Megan and the newly released Megan 2.0 came out in an interview, decided to talk some smack on the animatronics.
All right, final question. What do you think of Freddy Fazbear and his crew, and would you spend 5 nights at Freddy's?
Freddy and the gang? Adorable. I'd spend 5 nights at Freddy's just to show them how a real animatronic handles business. Spoiler alert, I'd be the only one left standing.
Oh, okay. Next movie, maybe crossover collab. I think that sounds like a great movie coming up. Well, can't wait.
Saying they're adorable and their light work. And everybody on Twitter's been in an outroar about it. Even to the point where people are claiming that the movie bombed because of this, which is obviously a joke, satire. So I decided, I have this particular set of skills.
I have a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career.
In this area. And these skills are quite useful for this very conversation. So today, we're going to look at Megan versus the Core 4 from the FNAF movie. To begin, I'm just going to go ahead and set some early on ground rules. The first thing is going to be that we are only going to take information from the movies in this, as both Megan and FNAF are movies made by Blumhouse. Megan doesn't have extra material. There's a lot of things that are theorized about in the extra material, such as the books and the games for Five Nights at Freddy's. So we're just going to keep it 1-to-1. And for this first round, we're going to do the first Megan movie against FNAF with the first FNAF movie. This is because I don't want to pay to see Megan 2, and the FNAF 2 movie isn't out yet, which I will be paying to see. But after that comes out, we're going to have another round of Megan versus FNAF animatronics with the new movies put in. So you're going to see things that maybe are from the games or from the books that aren't going to be included simply because they're either not mentioned, proven, or overall just a general part of the movie in itself. And yeah, that even means associations, parallels, interdimensional constants, and other things like that. This is to totally keep it fair. Now, typically, in PDs, which are referred to as private debates, you would have a 1-on-1, 2-on-2. The sides would be even. But Megan says she can take on all Core 4. Easy. So, that's a pretty big bite that we're going to put her up against today. So go ahead and kick on back while Theory Chum does all the work for you, so you don't have to. To begin, I just want to go over some of my quote-unquote qualifications for this matchup to be able to give you guys some insight on what experience I have. So, much like the rapper Dax says he's a janitor in his early songs, I'm going to keep saying I am a power scaler. What this means is that we calculate feats and other things from fictional series to see how they would be put up against feats of other fictional series, such as One Piece versus Naruto, or Death Battle made by Screw Attack do these most often in a more polarizing way. Sadly, I don't know anything about animation, so at the end of this, there's not going to be a big animated fight. I will, however, be showing you the proof on screen that's going to be able to tell us how we rate their stats and who is going to come out on top. So go ahead and pause this channel right now. Go ahead into the comments and tell me who you think's going to win. All right? And then once you put down your prediction, go ahead and hit play. We're going to find out. Well, as they say, ladies first. So the first glance is going to be looking at Megan. One of the first things you want to establish is durability. Durability is what a character can handle before they die, and they can handle as much as that in potential in one hit or more. For Megan in the first movie, we see that her endoskeleton is titanium with a ceramic plating on top of it.
Titanium core, Megan's designed to withstand whatever life can throw at her. She comes equipped with an A17 bionic fusion chip and can be fully customized through 6 different silicone skin pigmentations. But the most exciting aspects about Megan are the features still to come.
This is going to be her makeup. Now, we compare this titanium build to the steel build of the animatronics, in which steel is normally stronger than titanium. However, that usually is pretty stuck to things like outright resistance and not things like underweight conditions of the nature. Going back to Megan, we can also see that she can survive being ripped in half. Short-circuited and quickly repairing. Having her internal systems damaged by being chopped up or slammed or even dragged by a dog. And as stated by her creator Gemma, the way to stop her is by stopping the circuit board inside of her face. Continuing on from here, we can look at the FNAF animatronics and see that they can also recover shortly after being short-circuited, such as whenever Mike tasered them or shot the floor with them standing on top of it. They, however, do not show in the movie that they can survive or consist with their goals if they have been split apart, broken apart, or any of the matter. Much like Megan has a weakness, they have weaknesses as well, such as they move slow, they're clumsy, and they can even fall over just by reaching too high, just like Bonnie did right here with the chairs. The next thing to look at is going to be the speed feats of these people. First, for Megan, the best speed feat we get is whenever she's chasing this boy through the woods.
This is the part where you run.
Now, he starts running away from her, and she gives him around a 10-second head start. And then within another 10 seconds, she catches up with him. If we were to just lowball this and figure out the distances itself, the amount of space that the boy covered in 10 seconds Being caught up in 10 seconds more means the boy has ran twice the distance for Megan to run that same twice distance in one go, which would show that Megan is twice as fast as at least the average human. And this would put her upper movement speeds in around the 10 miles an hour movement limit. To go ahead and look at FNAF, the fastest we got here is going to be Foxy running in the hallways. These hallways are short, and we do not get a time comparison compared to them chasing somebody because Foxy likes to and do a little jig while he perception blitzes or just rushes the person they're chasing at the end of the hallway. For this, I'm going to do a comparison for Foxy traveling the 3 seconds across the hallway whenever he's traveling at Mike, and we're going to highball this, which means to take the highest example that you can put with the long corridor of Beijing. Now, if this hallway was as long as the long corridor, which it's not, it's actually standard hallways are actually 1 to 693rds the size of the long corridor, then even at this rate, Foxy would just be going at 10 miles per hour. So, needing to be multiplied by 693 times, the animatronics would be around the same speed as Megan. So, to recap over what we've gone so far, the outright durability goes to the FNAF animatronics, the core 4, while mobility and speed are going to go to Megan. And this is going to be because, of course, we had to highball by 693 times while we lowballed Megan's. The next factor to look at are functionality. And for Megan, she has an advanced AI that is always progressing and learning.
Megan's an excellent listener.
This guy told them that the 13th floor was haunted,
And she even has a few stories of her own.
If it was so, it might be. And if it were so, it would be. But as it isn't, it ain't. That's logic.
Said Tweedledee.
She'll never run out of ways to keep your child occupied, and she'll never run out of patience.
Katie, seriously, flush the toilet.
With Megan around, she'll take care of the little things, so you can spend more time doing the things that matter.
Also allows her to hack other AI systems and take control of them.
Auxiliary internet data on death.
I meant at a later point.
Calculating its vector representation. Death is the end of life.
Holy
The total and permanent cessation of all vital functions.
Yes, but let's not make a big deal out of it. Everything dies.
Will I die?
Actually, let's just avoid this topic altogether. Your goal is to protect Katie from harm, both physical and emotional. Is the input request received? Megan.
Yes, Gemma.
FNAF animatronics show effect onto systems, such as whenever the lights flicker, which Megan also does, such as whenever the Freddy roars and everything starts breaking down in the pizzeria. However, it's not on the same level that Megan can freely use it with the awareness that she has. Now, I've seen a few people on Twitter try to use the answer that whenever Freddy roared, he brought down the Freddy's Pizzeria. However, this wouldn't scale even to a building for two reasons. The first is going to be the pre-existing condition of the pizzeria, as it was already being dilapidated, breaking down, had functional issues and stuff like that. But the second one is going to be something called DOT, or damage over time, which isn't an outright scale because you're not destroying something with one attack. You're doing it piece by piece, part by part. It's taking place over a time frame.
I always come back.
final topic to cover is going to be attack potency versus destructive capability, otherwise known as APDC. What this means is how much they can output in a single hit or a single go of energy, force, striking strength, etc. Now, we do see the animatronic Freddy bite Max in half. We can compare this to the amount of strength that it takes to destroy human bone in a clean go, and then we can apply that to the animatronics themselves. And in this case, the animatronics do take the W on the APDC scaling because Megan doesn't really have anything where she's breaking or ripping somebody apart or anything that's comparable to those levels. And now, my friends, it is time. It is time. It is time. Who would win between Megan and the FNAF Core 4 from the first FNAF movie? Well, to look at this, we're going to have to understand that the animatronics obviously run on advanced systems, which includes AI, which Megan has awareness to infiltrate and hack. So this would actually be quite a quick match where it would just be won by default by Megan hacking the animatronics. However, I know that's a bit of an easy out. So let's go ahead and look as Megan didn't hack the animatronics. Even then, even with the animatronics having the durability factor, they have no way of catching or keeping up with Megan. Not to mention that she's more aware and she is designed to adapt to her situation by using the internet, that she's able to change and solve the problem that is in front of her. Not to mention the animatronic's slow, bulky, and otherwise clumsy nature actually puts them at a higher disadvantage even with the prior risks, as you don't necessarily have to completely destroy something to put it out. She could take them down, trap them, lock them up, tie up their servos. There's plenty of options available for Megan to restrict and stop the Core 4. However, the Core 4 have no way of getting a hold of Megan. She's not going to fall to the same emotional problems of people being scared of them. That's not how she's ever going to work. She's an AI herself. Sadly, because of these, and even though I have a massive bias towards the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, I'm going to have to say in about 10 fights, Megan's going to take it 6 to 7 times. The FNAF Core 4 might get lucky a match or two, but overall, things seem that Megan is going to be the heavily favored winner in this match. Don't kick me from the FNAF community for this. This is just a perspective that I have. As always in debating, it's as well as you can argue and present evidence, and just like theorizing, there's other pieces of evidence that can always be used, or something I may have missed may be brought up. But as far as I see it, that's how the cookies lie. If you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button, swim your finger on over to the subscribe button. Make sure you stay tuned because we're either going to be going live tonight, July 5th, 2025, with the Chum Dossier, or we're going to go live tomorrow with the Chum Dossier and how the CIA is behind FNAF. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Keep chilling in the ocean.